Everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters That podcast. I'm your host, Brian. Today, welcome to special guests who are traveling, I guess, to their next tour. We got the boys from Cerebral Desecration. How you guys doing today?
What's up?
Doing good, man. Appreciate you having us.
Thank you for welcoming us on your podcast, man.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Actually, this is interesting.
I'm the vocalist.
I'm Colin. I'm the drummer. Daniel, guitar.
Joe on the bass.
Gave the guitar.
All right, that's pretty cool. And this is interesting, too, because actually, I have interviewed somebody who was actually at their little tour bus, but actually, this is the first time someone doing it right out of their truck.
Yeah, right out of the truck, man.
Yeah.
It's more used for than just getting girls and then drinking beer in it afterwards. So,
Yeah, just drinking with each other.
how you guys been recently? What's new?
Not much, man. We just we're finishing up at the studio. We're trying to release our last 2 tracks for the upcoming album we're trying to put out.
And we're currently on the road for the Friends in Low Places 2024 tour. It was a short run, just going through Texas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico. But we definitely plan on going everywhere next year by 2025. So be on the lookout for that and our new music.
Yeah, I've been saying it on Facebook here, too. That's actually how I found out about you guys.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I also got a nice little shout out with Big Rattlehead.
Oh, there you go.
Megadeth.
Man.
Actually, they came through my city on Wednesday, and I have to admit, it was the first time I actually saw All That Remains in Mudvayne. So,
Oh, that must have been a killer show, man.
Heck yeah.
oh yeah, I got footage and everything too. I'm gonna actually put it on my YouTube channel and post it at some point. So stay tuned for that.
Hell yeah.
We'll check it out for sure. We'll follow and all that fun stuff.
All right, sounds good.
Oh.
So everyone, welcome you all here to my podcast right here. So the way it's going to work is, got some questions right here. So let's get to know you guys and a little bit more, and let's see some interesting stories here. I guess let's start here with the first one. I guess whoever wants to go first. So who are you? How'd you become a musician?
Me and the vocalist, bass player Joe here. Me and the vocalist have been friends about since we were 15, 16 years old. Started off in high school, really middle school into high school, and I've pretty much been his bass player ever since, man. And he got me into heavy metal, anywhere from he started off with Tool, Disturbed, all the new metal stuff, Slipknot. Got into the heavier stuff, Pantera, the Metallicas, the Megadeths, and after that we started getting into the death metals, freaking Cannibal Corpse, Faceless. There's so many to name, man. Like, it's hard, man. But yeah, basically, he got me hooked on some metal, and been doing it ever since, man. Hell yeah.
We're down.
And down.
There, we got you.
Hope everybody enjoyed that floor for a moment.
Blooper.
Yeah, right. But yeah, Cerebral as a band has been a band for about 14 years. Me and Joe and Daniel are technically the newest members. Basically now I've been in the band for 7 years now?
7 years, yeah.
Yeah, so since 2017, been jamming with these guys. And we released the Further Than the Bottom album in 2020. And with the Empty Black that we're getting ready to release, we're hyped to get that out to everybody. Vocally, my influences really range, but right now my 3 goats, like the 3 goats in my eyes, is of course the leg beat of that man, and Bender from Shadow of Intent, and then the True King, Travis Ryan from Cattle Decapitation. So those are my 3 major influences.
Shit, dude. I've been with Cerebral for over 10 years, man. Me and David got me and my old bass player when I was 17. Maybe 19, 20, somewhere around there. But I would jam with David for a long time. And so I've been through almost every single part of what Cerebral is. But then, some of my biggest influences, like Mario Duplanter, Rougir, he's one of my favorites. And then, then I go to Nils, the Dominator from, Dark Funeral, and Nord Nebel, one of my favorites. And then also Kevin Paradis from Benighted. He's just a god. It's like, I wish I could be that good one day, but, progress as I can.
Slowly and painfully, but yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I guess my dad kind of got me into like listening to rock when I was a kid growing up, like your Rolling Stones, a lot of Bob Dylan, I guess, more folksy. But then one day he showed me Money for Nothing from Dire Straits, and I heard that opening guitar lick, and I knew right then and there I wanted to play guitar. But I was a kid. I guess at that time, like hair metal scene was a big thing. So I started listening to that for a little while. But then I think one day a friend came over to my house, put on "Wake Up Dead" from Megadeth, and I was like, I want to try this. I gotta. So I was just, that's when I just, I kind of, sold my childhood for, guitar gear. And learned as many covers as I could. I lived in a small city. I really wanted guitar lessons, but there was nobody. So basically, I cut my teeth just learning Slayer tabs, Metallica, Testament, and of course, trying to figure out that Megadeth stuff. And so I think that's what started for me. I think those are still my influences. I actually don't listen to a lot of metal now. These guys are, every time we go on the road together, they put music on. I've never heard any of this stuff, Colin's like, hey, have you heard of Black Dahlia? And I'm like, no, show me, But so I'm a little bit antiquated that way, maybe, but I think it kind of helps just drawing, like melodies from other types of music, But yeah, that's my story. Here's
We'll have Joe get David for you.
What's up, brother? I'm driving, so bear with me. Man, back in high school, I guess it was, right before I became freshman, my brother got bass, BC Rich Warlock, and I just was intrigued by it, man, because when I was growing up in the Island Woods and the projects, I'd walk out of the houses and all the old woodsters out in the Island Woods would be out there jamming out to Black Sabbath, Accept, Deep Purple, Steely Dan, and I'd walk out, hear that stuff, and be like, man, I want to be a drummer. It was too damn expensive for me. So I luckily, my brother had a bass. I ended up going and getting me my first guitar for $100, and it's history after that, man. So I started jamming out right around in '84, and I walked away for 13 years, and then when we started talking about doing a reunion for an old band, we came up with the concept of doing Cerebral Desecration, and been doing that ever since, man. And it's been almost 14, 15 years now, man. It's crazy it is. It's been that long. And I can say that, every member has been a brother to me. Their families are family to me. But these guys right here, this is the band for Cerebral. I'm proud to be writing this shit, man. So thank you for having us.
No worries. It does. Hopefully the Wi-Fi holds up here right here. I'm traveling through Kansas territory here. So, yeah. But I guess, which state are you guys actually representing? Are you guys all from the same state when you guys grew up together?
Me and Joe, the bass player, grew up together. We've known each other more than half our lives. And then Cerebral Desecration, like as far as friends go, like with me and these guys, before I joined Cerebral, I was in a band called Wings of Abaddon with Joe, and we used to play shows all the time. And when our band pretty much split up, they were doing auditions, and that's when I auditioned and joined and stuff like that. But as far as friendship wise, probably the drummer and David have been the longest friends in the band because they've been drumming and guitar playing together for more than 10 years. So, I mean, but we're all brothers. We all like camp and like do different stuff together, barbecue, party down. We're all from Texas. Most of us are from San Antonio. I think David was born in Houston, but lives in New Braunfels. And Daniel, you were down where?
Oh,
Crystal City. Yeah, it's a very small town. But yeah, and then we all kind of linked in San Antonio. That's how we all started jamming. We say our band's from San Marcos because that's where it started, but that's only about 30 minutes north of San Antonio. So we claim it.
It works. All right, that's good enough. And I guess who came up with the name too? Because I normally think it's like a smart term for being mind blown or something like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of exactly what it is, man. So David, when I go to the band, that's how David described it, because he's like, well, you can't call a band Mindfuck, so he's like, Cerebral Desecration's, close enough. And how'd you come up with the original name, David?
The band before used to be called Insanity. I got drill mix in my mouth, so excuse me. The band before used to be called Insanity. And we didn't want to keep that same name, so Javier, the original guitarist in the band, he was brainstorming names. And like Colin said, Mindfuck was out of the question, so he came back one day and said, hey man, what do you think about Cerebral Desecration? I said, well damn, that's a freaking long name. Is anybody gonna remember it? Well, everybody fucking remembers it, man, because it's just, I don't know, man, there's something about these guys and where the name concept came from that it just always has been that, we're Cerebrals, we're brothers. So, yeah, that's where the name originated from. Just a whim, man. It just brainstormed a bunch of names and came up with something. It worked out perfectly.
So using the word cerebral at least makes you guys look smart too. So
Cerebro.
Yeah.
You're a Cerebro now, too, man.
Welcome to the Cerebro family.
Yeah. Actually, just use the two initials right there. It's CD. So be like, let's go see CD tonight. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, that's cool. So I think you guys did get some of the history about cerebral desecration here. I guess. Do you want to elaborate a little bit more on it? I guess so because it seems like you guys have been around for a decade now. So I guess you guys go through numerous lineup changes and all the other stuff before you guys settled in this current lineup.
No, we definitely have gone through some style changes because when I first joined the band, we were more, I guess, kind of devil drivey, more Sepultura, Soulfly, older style like that. And then once we got Kobe and Joe in the band, that's when we started, I guess, getting a little more diversity, throwing more in there, a little more technicality. And then when we got Daniel, he really sprouted like this whole concept of what we're becoming now with it, the way he plays guitar. I don't know how to explain it, but when you hear this new song stuff for him, it's just I don't know, man. It's a journey that one song takes you on alone.
A lot of different musical influences.
Here you go.
That's the one thing that's always been wholesome for Cerebral is it doesn't matter what you write or what it is. You might think it's the lightest, non-heaviest riff ever, but when these guys get a hold of it, how they're able to carve something into something as a group, it just, I'm telling you right now, it's just amazing. You're going to be really newer songs like Suffer and Bless and Empty Black, The Shed of Skin. These songs are a little bit more diversified, shows everybody's true musicianship as their art and their art form, and it kind of collaborates together beautifully. I'm blown away, and I started writing this music for this band, 20 something years ago, and then we started doing it again about 15 years ago. So to see it start from there to where it is now, it's mind blowing. It's a mind fuck. Cerebral Desecration. You're gonna get everything, man. You like Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, you're gonna like our music because it'll give you that same pop and groove. You're gonna be headbanging, but I can guarantee you that one. I have pictures of the road, guys. Come on.
But yeah, we have what people call when they see us is we have this signature bounce to our music. It's got that groove that like even like the hardcore death metal, like, you know, I don't want to be able to understand a single word the vocalist saying. I want blast beats, 300 beats per minute the whole time type of stuff. They hear us play and they're like, they can't help but be like, damn, this shit grooves. Like that's our main thing. We try to catch you with not necessarily like a hook in the lyrics, but a hook in the riffs. And then that's where I just that much more catchy. You know, so the formula for our music is everybody dissects it, it adds to it however they feel their influence fits, you know. And we're pretty open to where we'll tell each other like, that's not really what we were thinking or what. We're all pretty much open-minded, no ego when it comes to manipulating a riff that someone wrote into something that makes it cerebral. So if you check out our music, you know, it's clean death metal. That's how I like to say it. We try to go for the clarity in the music where you can hear every instrument, you can hear every word I'm saying. I don't like the Cookie Monster, you know. But I've had a lot of people tell me that like, damn, you sound like Trevor. Because I'm all over the spectrum, high, low, mids, screeching, fries, like you name it. I'm all over the place. So we just try to make it be as fun as possible for the listeners. But then you see us live, than seeing just, you know, or listening to the music on Spotify or whatever. You know, live we're all bumping and grooving and jumping and headbanging and asking for claps or whatever the fuck, you know, and involved. And I make a lot of, like me, I'm like the nicest guy, but when I'm on stage, I'm fucking grimacing, making nasty faces, being ridiculous.
It's like tongue sticking out and everything too. So.
Oh yeah, spit going everywhere. Try not to spit on anybody, but it's on the stage, that's for sure.
You spit on the ground. That's what you do. Yeah. And actually, I think you were listing your influences, and I think it cut you out. I think was Trevor Strahan from the Black Dahlia Murder. Was he one of your big influences too?
Yeah, big time. Huge influence. That's to this day probably my favorite band, regardless of what comes out. Or to me, they just wrong. You know, even with member changes, like they're just fantastic band to listen to, and they have that bounce that we like. So I that's one reason that drew me to this band, because I wanted that Dahlia bounce, you know, that fucking weird. Even if you're moshing, people want to be jumping, like type of shit. Like I don't know, I love when music just, you can't help but move to it. You know, like there's tons of music out there, badass bands that you can sit there and watch and want to thrash out to, but I feel like once we hit the stage, or once I start engaging with the crowd, we turn it into a party. You know, I always crack jokes. I say very obscene things that get the crowd laughing. But yeah, like that's usually our forte. We just want to go up there and have the best time of our lives, because why not? Enjoy what you're doing, and people are coming out to see you, be engaged by you, and be entertained by you. So you might as well have fun with the crowd afterwards too. That's the other thing. Meet everybody. Love to meet anybody, sign anything, pictures, whatever. We won't hesitate. So
That's good. And just real quick, how would you describe your genre? I think you kind of described it already, but go ahead.
Our genre would probably be like groove death metal.
Yeah.
Groovy. I know you were saying Michael Jackson earlier too. I'm just picturing him doing like the moonwalk, that sort of thing.
It's got every song has a groove, so
That's good. And I was going to say do you guys have any other influences who kind of like inspired you in terms of vocal styles and play styles?
Yeah, I mean, everything really. I mean, he was like, he mentioned Michael Jackson, like the other four of us aren't like, no, there's no Michael Jackson in this band. But for David, like, he wrote a riff that he reminded him of Billie Jean, and we turned it heavy. Like, so that song's called Obstructed. You can hear that on Further Than the Bottom, but that it doesn't sound anything like Michael Jackson. But the underlying riff, it's got like a little beat to it. So I know it's weird, but
Each one of us we take our plethora of styles, our plethora of influences, and we mix it. Like I can name we'd be here all day on the podcast naming the billions of bands that really have influenced me in my 25 plus years of singing. Like top five. Like for me, I guess we could do a top five. Like I named earlier, Trevor, of course, Travis Ryan, Bender, from Shadow of Intent, and then honestly, the one vocalist that got me started was when I was in high school. It was Corey Taylor from Slipknot. That first self-titled Slipknot, I heard that, and it just blew my mind, and I wanted to sing like that. So, and then another vocalist, not so much anymore, but definitely in his prime, is Burton C. Bell from Fear Factory. That dude has pipes, man, like just destroyed. So I used to grow up idolizing that dude. but now, I mean, I'm more brutal than anything than a lot of my, those other two influences. Like I said, I'm more Trevor from Dahlia, stuff like that. But I know we constantly show each other what's influencing us in this current time. So like when new music comes out, I'm always trying to share it with these guys, be like, this is the shit that excites me, stuff like that. And I mean, we mesh and meld. I don't know, like it's always hard when people are like, what's your band? Like when we say group death metal, but like some people might be like, I don't know if that's that, but that's what it sounds like to me. I don't know how else to placate it,
It's just metal, baby.
Yeah, it's just metal. Yeah.
I guess if anyone else wants to share their influences, go ahead.
Yeah. Big influence for me was always Gojira at the time when I first joined, but then even later on, there's still a huge influence on me. But then I listen to a huge spectrum of music. I don't just listen to metal. I listen to a lot of classical or R&B also. Some easy listening, here and there, man. Like Chicago is one of my favorite bands. They give me so much shit for it, but it's good stuff, man. It's like 25 or 64. It's a great song. It's super groovy. But then, I go into the R&B stuff too. I listen to Deborah Cox, Whitney Houston, stuff like that.
You want to dance with somebody?
But there's just so much. You get influence from whatever you listen to, man. Like everyone wants to be like, oh, that's not metal. I'm like, bro, it's like everything's metal. Whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you feel good. It's like you want to put that same energy into what you're creating, But for metal also, it's like I do a lot of black metal, the tech deck stuff. Like Kobe was saying, Fear Factory was a big influence. I saw them when I was like 13 on the Gigant tour with Megadeth and Dream Theater. That was awesome. My very first concert was Anthrax when I was like 9 years old. I got to go backstage, watch the whole show from backstage. I got to meet all the guys when I was a kid. And that point right there is just what made me want to do music like as a living, man. It's like nothing beats that lifestyle. And then here's Daniel.
Okay.
What's up?
I was like, no, sir. So,
Yes.
this is a great idea there. So, all right, Dan.
Yeah, I guess I was talking about it earlier, but I feel like I'll I was talking about influence, I was talking about Megadeth and Dirty Taps from Slayer and Testament, and I feel like sometimes I try to put like a little Easter egg in some of the stuff. Like I steal this one little section from the Dave Mustaine's last solo on Wake Up Dead. It's just this tiny little bitty thing that is a whole phrase for him. but I just kind of put it in there real quick on a song, on our song Deceiver. Um, but you'll have to see that one live because it's not on the record. But I think one thing that might be more interesting than just talking about, like my favorite guitar players is, or like the standard influences. I think something more interested to talk about would be like, I'm a big sound effects person because I loved Nine Inch Nails when they heard Pretty Hate Machine and Broken and then Downward Spiral. And I was playing guitar at the time, but I was so interested in just those interesting sounds, right? So it's been something that I've always like really enjoyed doing is putting new pedals on my pedal board, combining them, trying to make interesting effects, but also being able to incorporate into like metal and the genre that we play, which is not easy sometimes. But like on the new stuff, like if you listen to a new form, there's a little bit of that, and then I think one of these guys was talking about Suffering Bliss. There's a lot of effects on that I feel blend in really well. A lot more is happening than you can hear, but I think it's funny because I think had I not really been into Nine Inch Nails, I'm not really sure how much I would be into like the pedals and stuff, and for it to like for it to actually be able to be incorporated into metal, I guess it's tricky. So I'm glad that we do that, and initially, especially David would make fun of me because he'd come over, he'd be like, what's this like? Yes, what is this, like a computer? Or is this NASA? What is it? But now I think that he hears what some of the stuff is doing. I think everybody's going, oh yeah, keep doing that. So, but yeah, that's me. Here is
Hey, what's going on, brother? Yeah, so for me, so I was really into the new metal at the time. That Kobe got me into metal. So it was actually Filthy from Korn. Sorry, I put my finger in the way there. It was Filthy from Korn that really got me interested in playing the bass. And then Paul from Slipknot. Though Paul uses a pick, I'm all fingers. Thump and pluck and slap, and I'm all about that. Also, Evan Brewer is a big one for me. Him with the whole slap and pluck and double thump, and just the style he has kind of influenced me to do a little bit of what he does. And Rex Brown, of course, Texas boy, Pantera. And then another one, Alex Webster from Cannibal Corpse. He's got this wicked 3-finger technique, and he just shreds with those boys. And those have been big influences for me for many years now. And also Max from Dahlia, him as well. He's a fucking sick dude. I always love to see those guys live. And another one, I forgot his name. It's horrible. I can't remember his last name. His name is Nick. He's the bass player of Job for a Cowboy, and I think he also plays for Havoc and Cephalic Carnage, I believe. And that boy is sick on them strings, man. So those would definitely be my influences for sure. So
it's Nick Gass. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's one of those hard last names to pronounce. So yeah.
Yeah, man. So I'm terrible at names, man. But dude, I'll forever remember their techniques and their influence is always in me. I love just putting it on the fretboard, man, and just going down on that bad boy.
Okay, so real quick before we move on to. Oh, sorry.
What's that?
I was just gonna say, do you normally play with your fingers or do you play with a pick?
Yeah, all fingers, all the way. Nothing against pick players, they get different sounds. with the pick and stuff. So, but I've always just been a finger boy, just finger banging that bass, So it's just a different sounds you can get with the slap and the plug. I also like to, I'll do some tapping sections. I got a couple of tapping sections that I do. So just I have a player in the back that's always just do the whole time. I want to get people involved. And like the guys were saying, our live performance. We try to get the crowd going with the A's and the A's and the A's and the clap and it just, we want people to feel, people go to the jobs, 40-hour jobs, Monday through Fridays. You're performing for these people. You kind of, they come out, they spend money on your merch. They come out, spend money on, at the bar and stuff. See the music, and try to support the bands. You kind of want to give them the show that they deserve. All the hard work they put in the week. You kind of want them to forget about their daily lives and all the mess that they're having to go through just to get through. So when we play live, we want people to be involved. We want people to feel welcomed, I guess you can say. And basically we just want to put on a show for people. We want to show them a good time and vice versa.
Right. And David?
Man, mine, influence-wise, I guess you could say the first ones that influenced me were like CC DeVille, Poison, and they were the first ones that I would hear. But artistry, when you get into like Prince, who's multi-talented, Jackson, like I said before, Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush, Steely Dan. I mean, Leonard Skinner, those guys, they sang to you in ways that nobody has ever been able to touch. You go into the Zeppelin and, I mean, Whitesnake. I mean, who isn't an influence when it comes to music? So, I mean, there's a wide range. When it comes to actual technique and playing, I have to go with my roots, which would be like James Murphy. I'm a huge, huge fan of James Murphy. Disincarnate, Dreams of the Carrying Kind, one of the best albums ever written in my eyes. Skolnick, of course, and Schooner. I mean, how can you not say anything about that? Anything they've written, they are phenomenal. You get into the now stuff, right? There's so many guitarists that influence you, but I will give props to a local guitarist that has touched my heart in ways that I told him, and I could walk away and watch you play right now, is Alex of Chironics, man. You've not seen these guys play. That guitarist, what he does on his instrument is just beautiful. It's orchestrated. He's a phenom, and I'm giving mad props to him in this interview. So that guy's, he's a beast, and he's given me a lot of pointers. Mentally, physically, so I has a huge influence now. Besides the guys that are in the vehicle with me right now, these are all my influences. So, yeah. Thank you, man, for this again. I truly appreciate it.
No worries. And I guess before we jump into the hard topic of COVID.
I don't know what to do with my hands, dude. You said something. I hear.
What was that, man?
Oh, sorry. I was good. I actually interrupted. I thought I was done talking there. But before we jump into the hard topic of COVID, I guess, can you just talk about this little tour you guys are doing? This Friends in Low Places?
Yeah. Friends in Low Places was an idea put together to tour with some bands that we befriended playing in the scene, and we went on tour with one of them last year. We did a tour called the Texas Takeover. Did 7 dates in Texas, and this is actually the band that we're going to be playing with tonight in New Mexico. Their name is like eyeball, I-E-Y-E. They're pretty good. They got some like, I don't know, man, like they're metal, but they feel like they have this like tribal kind of feel to it. Really cool dudes. So we booked with them, and then the band that he named earlier with that guy Alex Davis, Chironics, they're from Houston, and they're kind of like, I don't know what you would call them. Like I was calling them legend metal because all of their songs are about ancient creatures. Like, you know, they have like their whole cult of jellyfish thing. All the musicians in that band are just ridiculously good at their craft, and it was the three of us, and we just snagged 2 locals in every city to kind of, you know, branch out and get to meet other people. That way we can network and do even bigger tours. So this was just like a 4-city run real quick to end the week, and you know, get out there, get out of our cities, because we play San Antonio, Austin quite often since it's in our backyard and stuff like that. So this tour was about just friends in low places. That's a homage to George Strait. You know, I got friends in low places, so it was just kind of like, it kind of rolled off the tongue, and we felt, yeah, that's a good one. I might continue that trend of having a tour named Friends in Low Places, because that's the point of our engagement right now too, is just trying to, 1, get our name out there, 2, prove our point, 3, kick people in the mouth musically. Like, that's how I've always, that when I approached this band, I was like, if every song we're playing isn't kicking the people in the front row in the teeth, figuratively speaking, we're doing it wrong. Like, it's got to be a punch in the mouth, you know, like, just like when you first heard Pantera, like when Far Beyond Driven dropped, everybody in the whole world who put that shit on, Strength Beyond Strength, got a fucking punch to the teeth, metaphorically, because it's just like, holy shit, drops your jaw, you know? So that's the point that I always like to say. So with the bands that we chose for this run, it was homies, good friends, and we just wanted to get out on the road together, play some shows together, and just vibe off each other's energy every night, push each other to play harder, you know, more passionate than the guy who opened or whatever. So everybody knows with us, you either put us on first or you put us on last. Either way, when we hit it, we always set the tone, no matter what's going, for whoever's coming after us. So we've had some bands laugh like, why y'all going first? Like, that's just how the promoter booked it. But I hope y'all got your big boy britches on, because we bringing that energy. So that's what we like to do. We like to, you know, we're a very common collective outside when you meet us, but once we hit the stage, we become a whole nother animal. So personally, that's what the tour is about, is unleashing that animal in all these low places, because we're all in the South.
Yeah.
But next year plans are, we won't be hitting East Coast yet, but I would love to. If anybody out there has connections, they want to hit us up on our Facebook or our Instagram, we gladly would DIY book a tour through the East Coast if we can. But I know next year we're pushing to do a West Coast tour. Probably start Dallas and then head up to Colorado, you know, hit up Washington and come back down again. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. We're hoping to get that all ironed out and finalized to happen probably, you know, early to mid 2025. So, but we got tons of shows coming up too. We're doing we do a lot of nationals that come through the Texas area. So we'll be opening up for Crowd Mac Guitar when they come through on the Unique Leaders tour package that's coming through. So that'll be a good time. And then we got some shows in Dallas that we're looking forward to and stuff like that. But we're definitely doing our best to book everywhere we can, because we want to get out of Texas. We've been here our whole lives, and we think what we got here is finally good enough to actually like push it and get the fuck out there. So that's our goal.
I would say Texas has been known for the Longhorns and all that stuff. So go Longhorns. Yeah. And I was gonna say, I think you could go full circle with naming like a tour name, for instance, too. You can definitely call it the Mindfucked Tour or something like that.
Yeah,
There you go.
I like that.
It comes full circle. All right. Well, it would be nice to get you guys out here too. So I don't know, maybe after this, like, was gonna say Midwest tour. I'm not too sure, or Central U.S. tour, whatever you guys want to do it for next year. But it'll be nice to get you guys out here too. It'll be nice to actually meet you too.
If we can make it happen, we definitely will. Because we want to hit the East Coast. I'd love to play in Florida and the Carolinas and all the way up to New York if I can. I know that's not only just a goal, but a dream of all of ours. Because as a band, all of us haven't collectively hit the whole state. So we're like, fuck it, let's do this shit. Like, we got the right group of guys. We can get along. We have such a blast together. Like, why not? So we've been pushing this machine a lot harder this past, I guess you could say, 2 years, and now we're ready to show the world what we got.
All right, sounds good. And I guess Colby, while we're on this too, I guess go ahead and talk about COVID here a little bit. So I guess what was going on with the band when COVID had hit, and I guess how bad did COVID impact you, family, and music wise?
Man, that COVID shit on us. So the first record that we released with our current, Daniel wasn't on it yet. Daniel came in slightly after we released this record. So this new record that we're about to release is finally something with this current lineup. But in 2020, when COVID hit, we already had all the recordings and book shows and you name it, getting ready to drop our album Further Than the Bottom. And sure enough, once the world shut down on us, we were just like, all right, well, I guess we just go back to the drawing board and write some more music. And I think at that point, we just kind of took the time to spend with families, because that was a hectic, 2020 from January to pretty much July. It was like nobody knew what the fuck was happening or what to expect. Things were starting to slowly trickle in, like what you could do and stuff. And I remember in San Antonio, a promoter of ours with Twin Productions, Jen Holt, she hit me up and was like, how would you guys feel about throwing a show, be one of the first shows in months? And that was crazy. That was a crazy show, because we had some good bands on there, badass bands, and we played, and the whole venue had tables, and you had to only sit at your table, and you couldn't get up, and then all the bartenders were like serving like a restaurant. It was fucking weird. Like, you never see that in a metal club. But we had fun that night, and and that was kind of like, for us, realizing like, okay, it's not that bad. Like, this is bullshit, So I personally wasn't affected too much by COVID. We all still had our jobs. We all still, have blue collar jobs and kept working and shit like that. So, it band wise, it definitely, but I feel like it slowed everybody down, so everybody in a band had to have been affected unless they're not playing live. But I can tell you the worst thing about COVID is once everything came back, they act like the industry and people who run the venues and ticket people started making everything even more expensive, because they're like, oh, look, you can come back to regular life. Everything's expensive now. And the next thing you know, freaking life's back to normal, but shit's still super expensive. Like, what the fuck? I feel like that's just been the biggest detriment to the concert industry. Like, there's a lot of bands that had to close their doors because that was their livelihood, and they couldn't tour, they couldn't do nothing. And some of them are immune, deficient, whatever. Like, different members have different issues. I felt like it put a huge dent in everyone's trajectory at that point in time. So, and as a band, for us, we just want to persevere through anything. And we've been through so many different things together. It's ridiculous, but we always find the gusto and the strength and the drive to just get together and say, fuck the world and everything that's going on with it. Let's put it in a song. So, and that's lyrically what I write a lot about, is real world stuff. Stuff that I feel like sometimes gets overlooked, or it's right in front of our faces and we don't even realize it. Like the song "A New" truly was called "Rape," but we were like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have the word rape in a song if we're trying to get it out there, you know. But it's the rape of our wallets. It's a new form, like of them taking everything from us, and taking our dignity, and you name it. So it was a roll on words, but like that's how I felt. And you know, so different things like supper and bliss. Like I feel like that's our life now. Like we all are suffering at our jobs and pain, making ends meet. You know, like we're fortunate to even be on the road right now doing this, and like we suffer for this bliss. Oh, my bad. So that song was called Supper and Bliss, and the new album's going to be called The Empty Black. And that one, I kind of wrote a lot around like those feelings of being alone when we were all quarantined and separated and stuff. And then I also was going through a divorce at the same time, so it was like that empty black hole that people put themselves in, where no one's hearing you internally scream, type of shit. So we like to make all the songs almost hit a nerve in a way. Another example is off of our Further Than the Bottom album. The opening track's called "The Washed Away," and I wrote that song because, like, lyrically, I wrote those lyrics because of the Vegas shooting. I don't know if you remember before COVID, all the shooting in Vegas and stuff. And I'm pro gun, you know, so I know when anti-gun people want to talk about guns, I feel like Vegas would be the number one talking point, but yet no one has said a word about Vegas ever. Like we all heard it, and then now you can't. They never talk about it. You never see shit about it. It's been years, and I feel like there's more to the story than what's been told, because I feel like they just, oh, it's about some crazy lunatic with a gun and we'll wash all the blood away and carry on. Like I feel like, you know, if there's gonna be a tragedy of that magnitude, like 9/11, we talk about that all the time. Why is nobody talking about the Vegas shooting? And I still bring that up to this day. Like you want to talk about shootings in America, that's probably the worst one. Like honestly. So that was just my way of being like, how come I'm not hearing shit about this? How come no one's using this as their argument? How come we don't really know much about the shooter besides he got killed by cops after what he did? And I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of lies in the media, and that's a whole nother story. That drives me crazy. I don't watch the news anymore because I'd be a basket case if I did.
You'd have to tune into his podcast, Kobe Talk Time.
Kobe Talk Time. Yeah. Sometimes they got to get me to stop at shows because I'll just start ranting and raving. Oh yeah, I better stop. I'm going on 2 minutes here.
It'd be like, welcome to the gun show. That's our deal.
Yeah.
But this guy going on that too. I can understand. At the same time, it's a mental issue. So I think that's the thing they got to talk about.
And I agree, and that's a whole nother layer of it. It's definitely like everybody's heads are more fucked than they've ever been, you know, like, and no one's really talking about that. And granted, whatever that reasoning may be, I still feel like as an anti-gun person, you bring that shit up and no one does. So, like, I don't know. I feel like that's the armory of stuff to get through Vegas, bro. Like, I've been to Vegas. You can't take a piss on a street corner without a camera catching it. Like, no. Like, I don't. This doesn't make sense to me. A lot of stuff in this world doesn't make sense to me. So when it confuses me that way, is when I release it with aggression and say my truth. I guess I don't know.
I put it into a metal song. That's one way of conveying our emotions right there. So
yeah, he's a great lyricist. Kobe's one of the best writers I know, man.
I've been writing a long time.
That's good. I guess did anyone want to talk about maybe their stories with COVID, or I guess was everyone pretty much the same sort of scenario that Kobe went through?
Pretty much, man. Like me, you know, I got a blue collar job, so like that never stopped me. Changed too much, except for it's like, you know, the lady, she was just stuck at home the whole time, on unemployment, I'm having to drive 3 hours out of town every single day. Just not every day, but once a week. I'm gone all week, and I come home, just work. And then I got COVID while I was working, and then I was out for 2 weeks. I had to use my own vacation to pay for myself being sick, and it's like I wish I could have been unemployed and actually been able to put more into myself and drumming. But it's like, no, I had to work through the whole thing.
I would say you definitely made more money on unemployment than you would your actual job. So yeah, I can see why.
Oh yeah, like she was bringing home the same amount of money I was making, and I was working 50 hours a week, and she's just chilling at home.
That's something. All right. But I guess,
Yeah.
did any of you guys get real sick with COVID? I know, Colin, I know you mentioned it right there. I guess, did any of you other guys get real sick?
No, actually, me and Daniel were talking about this, and Joe. So we're not okay. Before we get into this, if anyone wants to call us anti-vaxxers, they can kiss my ass. But I did not get the fucking COVID jab. I was like, nope, I'm good. I haven't gotten sick. I'm gonna do the old George Carlin trick and let my immune system kick its ass. I've never once had COVID. I hope my job doesn't hear this because I've used it before as an excuse. But I have never once had COVID. Daniel, neither.
Yeah, so I got the first vaccine, but there were supposed to be two, but I got the first one, and then I just got lazy about it. But I've actually never tested positive. I haven't been sick. But I understand that there's a lot of that it's it's about your genes sometimes. Just because of their genetics, they're going to be more prone to certain things. I just kind of got lucky. I will say this: the band that I was in, I guess you want to talk about how COVID impacted Cerebral or me and Cerebral. The band that I was in was Beyond Black. Bass player got deathly ill. He got really, really sick for a long time. I want to say 6-7 weeks maybe. And when I talked to him afterwards over the phone, he said that it got to a point where he just felt like he wanted to die. It was too much suffering, but he made it through. But the problem with that was he didn't want to come back to practice. He didn't want to come back to the practice room. He said he wasn't ready. So I kind of was out of my band. My band just sort of fell apart because of and not really being ready to be in a close space, at the practice area with other people, which I can't blame him. If I had suffered that much the way that he did, I probably would feel the same way. But so I didn't have a band. So guitar player from Beyond Black, he and I are really good friends. Bert Buchanan. One day he sends me a screenshot of Cerebral's post about looking for a guitar player. Is sort of like the announcement for the for tryouts. So I thought about it for a couple of days because I'm not the type of personality to really put myself out there, to be a couple of days. And then finally I messaged David and I said, well, here's some of my stuff that we recorded on Beyond Black. And then he proceeded to make me go over like 5 times over like 3 months before they finally said, okay, you got the job. So I'll actually never forgive them for that, because I went like once, twice. I had written solos for, just to show what I could do for, I'd written solos for some songs further in the bottom, that,
That you incorporated right now.
yeah, I play them live now, but I had all this stuff. So I went, actually, David was like, hey man, great job. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, I got this gig. And then 3 weeks later, he's like, you want to come by to play again for me? So I was like, fine, man. And that just kept happening and happening. He's lucky I didn't give up, because I was like,
Hey,
it's a 30
that you really wanted this.
30-minute drive, but anyway, so I feel like if you're looking for an angle on COVID and how that shapes Cerebral, I mean, COVID's story is important, but I think, probably if COVID doesn't happen, Beyond Black continues, and I never try out for Cerebral, and so all of our history is different. So I'm really glad that Steve got sick. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, but it's just the way, you know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Steve. I love you, Steve. But no, but you know, it's just making something out of something really terrible that happened. And so now apparently I have new friends. You know,
Brothers.
yeah, I got brothers now. You know, you know. So I feel like where this band is going, I feel like it does have my fingerprints on it now, just the way it's got everyone's. But I like the fact that just chemistry. You know what Kobe was talking about when we play live. Like he and I made a promise to one another, you know, a while back. And it was like, no matter what happens, when we play live, we give every ounce of energy. And I feel like we have not broken that promise to one another. I feel like the music is good when you hear the recording. The guy does this for us, Clifton. Uh, he's awesome. I feel like it captures what we're doing, but I feel like live, it's a completely different story. And I feel it's just so much more energetic. We actually have a motto that I'm surprised Kobe didn't talk about, but I'm wearing the shirt now, but it's we're coming for that chon chon. So when I joined the band, I was like, David, what does this mean? It's on the shirts. I see it on the merchandise. What does it mean? And David just turns around, he looks at me, he's like, we're coming for that ass. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, dude, it's like we're coming to kick ass every show. And I was like, you know what? I can get on board with this. So that's a reference to Blood In, Blood Out. I don't know if you've seen this movie, but I'm not going to talk about that too much. But but that's our motto, you know. And I'm really glad the way this is turned. I feel the chemistry that we got. I feel it's unique. I feel like when we get a few rehearsals in for like preparation for, you know, a few dates like this, we get that stuff in. Oh man, I think we're hard to match. You know, I'm not trying to brag, not trying to put my nose up in the air. You know, I want to say that because it's credit to all of these guys in this vehicle. It's credit to how hard, you know, they're saying everybody has jobs, you know, everybody works really hard. And, you know, we got families, you know, it's not like, you know, we're 18, 19 years old getting out on the road and stuff. Like, it's a lot of responsibilities. It's really just a credit to these guys and what they do and how, you know, you have to be able to change. You have to be able to adapt. If you don't do that, you don't achieve the chemistry that I feel like Cerebral has, you know. And so, you know, the reason I'm saying that because it's about, you know, David and fucking Colin and Kobe, Joe, like everybody does it. And I feel like we click together well. So, you know, yeah, that would be my COVID perspective right there.
I was about to say, Jesus, you're dark. So
Now, David kisses a lot of guys, so he's had COVID like 20, 30 times. So.
well, I know he's not kissing ass, so I mean, he's doing something else.
I'll tell you how immune to COVID I am. Me and David went on a boat last year, cruise. It was called the Headbangers Boat. It's the best time of your life. If you ever get a chance to go, you should totally go. We can meet in person because I'm going all the time. But we were on a boat and in a car ride, drove from Miami to Texas, and there was 4 of us in there, and everyone got COVID but me. Joe, COVID story? Shit.
Oh, COVID story. It was really my COVID story wasn't, you know, much different from all the other guys. I think I got COVID like twice, but it was very mild. I didn't really have any problems or issues. You know, I had a blue collar job, electrician, so I was always working, busy. Also with the band, you know, and everything. I think everyone was impacted. The music industry was impacted greatly, and touring sucks for a lot of musicians because that's where you get your name out a lot. You know, networking with people, and you just, you know, getting heard. And I just kind of hurt a lot of musicians, and you know, just like everyone else, we had the same kind of the same issues as them. You know, kind of more or less, we were all in this together, kind of type thing, and it sucked, but we're back on the ropes. we're trying to get out further out in the States. Like they said, we're trying to do a West Coast tour. What are we doing, 10 days, something like that? 10 days?
10 days.
Yeah, 10 days. So
10 days, 10 cities.
10 days, 10 cities. So hopefully all that goes well. And yeah, I mean, my go to stores, it's like everyone else's, man. It sucks, but I'm still breathing. I'm still here. Lost a couple people on the way, but nothing's forever. We're all our days are numbered. Tomorrow's never promised. So just trying to live life the best we can. And so horns up, enjoy life, guys. It's pretty much my advice. Just live it to the fullest. If you can, life can be a burden sometimes, but we are all living it. We're all in it together. So horns up. Listen to some metal. It's been great therapy for me all my life, music in general, and let's just gotta stick together in those times. So,
Man, COVID story for me. I'll tell you, it was hard because the fact that the industry came to a complete stop. Of course, working was the same, but me having the rehearsal room there at the house. I would go back there, pick up my instrument, and be looking around the room like, damn, I miss my buddies, man. My wife would go back there, my daughters, they'd make, get through it and stuff. But we were at least further than the bottom during that time. What we're doing right now, I wish we would have been able to do then. But the scripture's written before we even get to the opportunity. So to be able to do this now, I think it's making me get over the fact that how it made me kind of home in on my instrument during the time where I took it wide as and put back to perfect what I'm doing so I can match these guys. So I used it just to build myself as a musician, build myself with my family. We got stronger during that time like everybody did. I have the same story when it comes to that. I lost family, I lost friends, people that I've met throughout the years. So all our stories are pretty much similar in that fashion. But musically, I had to home in on myself and learn who I was again, so I'd be able to come out here and do what I'm doing right now with these guys. So thank you for that question. But mine's a little bit more short and sweet. I'm just glad that we're all persevered and being able to do what we're doing right now with you. So thank you again, man.
And sorry for any friends and family you guys lost right there too. But it's good to see you guys are still kicking ass out there too. So that's not your journey there.
Oh, we appreciate it, man. How did COVID affect you, bro?
Well, man, it's a little bit funny, but fortunately, I didn't lose anybody to COVID. But story was, I still remember it was March 15th, 2020. I say that's the day the world stood still because that was the last day I actually worked in an office for about 2 years. And I started working from home. I still kept a job and everything too. It allowed me to actually start doing a YouTube channel, this podcast. That's what it allowed me to do. So I actually went 2 years, even though I traveled like in the States. We always played it safe. And when you know it, I think it was like in 2023, we went to Nashville with my family. And when you're bar hopping on Broadway, you probably guess what happens. So,
Yeah, man, if you think about it, man, COVID actually brought us stronger together with our families to where we were, we were forced to be with the ones that we loved the most at a time when everybody was lost, like it is now. But that right there made us stick together more to where now we've been able to fight all the bullshit that's going on in the world. I mean, because if you really think about it, the state of America is really lost. People are lost. You got shootings going on. Your soldiers abroad. The prices of everything are stupid. I mean, I hate going to the grocery store, bro. So yeah, COVID's still affecting us to this day. I got the vaccinations. Me and my wife did, for us, so we could be here for our kids. So we thought that was the best decision at the time. When I change it now, political views are what they are, and people believe this and that. I just went with my own heart, my own good. So I'm glad you persevered, man. And a lot of people, like I said, did exactly what we did. We homed in. We learned who we were as a person. You stared more at that mirror in the morning and really focused on what you were trying to achieve by, projecting your image out there, man. So you just stayed true to that. It just keeps you the same, and a lot more wholesome now to this day. So yeah, man, I'm just happy that you were able to persevere through all that, dude. It's a story that we're never gonna forget in our lifetimes. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much, there, man. And keep on rocking there, brothers. Keep doing what you're doing. So,
Hell yeah.
okay. But moving on to the next question here. I guess first off, whose truck is this? And I guess what's the gear you guys got in the back trailer there?
What do you say with truck?
Yeah, whose truck is
The
it?
truck is mine. I got this truck a little bit over a year, 2 years ago. It was a gift to myself. Something's working so freaking much. And I wanted to be able to take the family places. So luckily, it just came to the fact that we could all fit in here. So this is the second tour in this vehicle. And the trailer, man, we lucked out on. Somebody contacted Colin, a coworker, and said, "Hey, I got this trailer. It's been parked out in my driveway for 3 years, but it's a good trailer." So I go over there, and it's all dingied up, and it just needed tires, but it was brand new. They bought it. The father had passed away, and the mom was there, and it was used as storage at the daughter's house, and they just wanted to get rid of it, so they sold it to us for $500, man. And I just took it home and scrubbed it with Ajax and SOS pads, and it's wider than my truck, man. So gear-wise, for me, I go through Marshall. I have a head that I made up of different things, power amp, a vocal processor to tweak it kind of like an amp head, and I use a Kemper profiler pedal, and kind of found stuff that I liked and added my own, and so I've made up a numerous amount of channels that I use myself. And then guitars, I'm strictly ESP and LTD. That's what I've been playing for years. I started back with Jacksons and BC Riches, Fenders, hollow bodies, you name it. I jammed them all, dude. But yeah, I use strictly ESP and LTD now. Power.
Yeah, give us some power.
Give us some power. Joe, your gear?
My gear, I play a LTD 5-string bass. Got a shit, lost you here. Put you here.
Go back sideways.
Sideways. Sorry, I gotta fix this camera angle. Sorry about that. And I got a Sans amp RBI. That's what I use for my for all my tweaking, treble, bass, all that. Also have a 480i maximizer that I have on there. Cork tuner. And then what else? QSC amp to power all my stuff with the Gens Benz 4x10, and also got the Shure wireless. So that's what I'm rocking.
I'm gonna try to make this as cool as possible. I use a microphone. with Duracell batteries, AA. I use a wireless mic, Shure Beta 58. I'm easy, I don't have pedals, compressors, and digitizers, analyzers, and all that other crap. But yeah, here's Daniel with his gear running. But Kobe is definitely the easiest one out of all.
I give it up so fast.
I think we're gonna need a whole separate podcast to go through my gear. But, I guess, so
Why you're last?
yeah, that's why I'm last.
coming up on this episode.
So I use some USA made custom guitars, and I won't tell you the brand because number one, they've never done anything for me. Number two, I give them all my money. Number two, they don't really need me at all. They have a advertising budget that it doesn't need any help. But yeah, I have some USA made custom Bs. But one thing I do want to talk about is, so I use a Dietzel Herbert MK3 head, and the guys from Dietzel treat me like a king. Like, I got these guys like on Messenger, and any questions I have, any issues I have, I message them, and they're right on top of it. And of course, they're out of Germany, so it's not real easy. But any issue that I've had, any questions I've had, they've answered. Awesome, awesome company. My 4x12 is also a Dietzel, yeah, I've got a Sennheiser wireless that I use. Yeah, and then of course I have like the pedal board I was telling you. I have Chase Place Audio is a big thing on my board or on my boards. I don't know. I guess that's about it. I guess. Yeah. Also, I was just kidding, Steve. Shout out to Steve Pena. I love you. It's just a joke, man. I hang out with these guys for a few days, and the darkness comes out of me. I don't even know. I can't even recognize who I am now. I'm just rough around the edges, and
He's like, I'm a good person. I'm gonna
need counseling. I'll hand this over to somebody else now.
No, I use Sonar drums, and then I use Zildjian K series crashes, 19 and 20s, and then I have a Z3 Megabell Ride, and I use the Ultra Hammered Chinas, the A series, and I use the Trick Pro V1 drum pedals, and I use 2 bass drums also.
It's metal. We always need 2 bass drums. So yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's a lot to carry. I use a rack as well. I use a Gibraltar rack, but I don't mind. Gives me something to do when I'm waiting. I can get everything set up and always be ready to go. Before, and then as soon as the show's over, I'm breaking down.
Yeah, gotta put that back into work. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm working from start to finish.
Right. And the next question here is for Colby. So can you pass it over to him?
Kobe, there you go.
What's that?
Okay.
Next question for you.
Oh,
right. So for this next question right here, how do you guys normally do your music? Do you guys start with like lyrics first, like what you do, and then put the music around it, or vice versa?
yeah. They usually give me music first, and then I'll put my lyrics around it. Because I'm pretty Johnny on the spot when it comes to writing lyrics. So especially if I'm in the room with them, I'm probably usually brainstorming in the corner while they're tightening down musically what they're doing. And normally at that time, that's when I start to ingest what I'm hearing, and I give it a song title or throw them a title that I'm feeling represents what this song is getting out of me. I'm a writing machine. I even if I don't have music to write to, I'll write stuff. I have a list that's so long of song titles because I'll just be driving down the road and I'll be like, oh, that's a cool name, and I'll have to write it down because it could be a badass concept that I could write later on. And initially, that's all it takes. Is once I have a song title, I can write anything. Like they can give me a 3-minute, 4-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute by the next day, if not sooner. That's my knack, I guess, is putting lyrics to music. So it's that way. Music first.
But what's really cool, man, because we actually had auditions for vocalists, and so we had multiple guys when Kobe came to audition for us too. And Kobe was like, "Hey, can I go first? I got a show to play." And we were like, "Oh yeah, sure." And so we actually have we actually have his tryout, so he just freestyled the whole song from beginning to end. And you're gonna have to send it to you, man. Like Kobe did so well. It's like
It's pretty much 80% of the recorded version.
it really
upside
is.
down.
He nailed the song like just for a tryout, just freeballing.
I'll never forget the vocalists and some of the vocalists in that room were just like, that mouth.
Yeah, like the guys left after he went. They're like, we're not gonna go.
Yep, it was like we're not worthy anymore. So yeah,
Yeah, basically, man.
and actually, Colin, I forgot to ask.
Every show, there's somebody. Oh, man, what the fuck? Yeah, that's right. Like, I'm too humble to be like, yeah, that's right. You know, I'm like, yeah, that's right.
Okay. And Colin, I forgot to ask, what brand are your sticks? Because these are the ones I'm kind of rolling with right now.
Question. Oh, that's pretty cool, man. Well, what brand is that?
This is a Collision.
Collision. All right, I'll have to check this out. 5B is nice. I use 5B and 2B as well, and then I use Fader.
Later. All right.
Yeah.
Just want to check that.
Do you prefer nylon tips or wooden tips?
I just do wood. I just do whatever comes to mind, really. I never really cared much about nylon, to be honest. So.
For sure. Oh, just a quick little question, too.
Still good. And Colby here for this next one. I know you talked about some of the lyrics in some of your songs, but I guess to change it up a little bit, I guess, was there a particular song you guys have written that's pretty hard for you to play live?
Oops.
Shut up. A hard song to like singing it and shit like that is probably a single we have. It's called "The Ghost of Me." You can hear it on Spotify. I mean, we're playing it on this tour. But that was the first song I wrote. Really, I wrote that before the Empty Black, and that was the first song I wrote after my divorce. Like, I got divorced during COVID. Should have mentioned that earlier, but I mean, I was more talking about music than my personal life, really, I guess. But honestly, it was the best and worst thing that I needed. Like, I needed to be away from my ex-wife, but it was also a very trying time. I have a son, so the hard thing for me was, accepting the fact that I'm not going to get to see him every day. So with that, these guys wrote a song, and I called it "The Ghost of Me," and it was like me burying the old me because I was with her for 14 years. It's a long time. So it was definitely like me passing on from my old self, and that's why it was called "The Ghost of Me." And a lot of the lyrics really hit home to what I was feeling at that time and stuff like that. So that song in particular is probably one that I'm not a big fan of playing it, but these guys love it. So, and like Daniel mentioned with sound effects and shit like that, the song starts with a sound effects, and I know that's one of the reasons why he loves it, because he loves to doodle with his pedals and stuff like that. But yeah, like, you're just doodling and doodling and doodling, you hot dogging motherfucker. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess that song for me would probably definitely be but it's not so much anymore. I know after I wrote it and we were playing it a lot, that was the harder time. I'm way past those feelings in my life now, and I'm in a totally different area in my head. But yeah, like, it'd have to be that song. I would assume that. If I had to pick another one, it would probably be a New Form, just because, like it's a very raw song. It's got a raw meaning, and every time I sing that song, like, it kind of pumps me up too, though. So I love playing it, but it's like what I'm singing about is just like it's sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like, they're taking everything away from us, even more so. Like, every day, it's like a trickle effect, and I'm tired of it. So, but yeah, those two songs for me lyrically probably are the toughest. But I still do them. I'm always open to keep playing any of the songs that we have released together. So, not against it.
I guess the reason I brought it up here too because I was looking up songs that the band Typo Negative had played live or hadn't played live. One particular song was Christmas Morning.
Oh yeah.
Had one. So that one hit hard. I was curious, did they ever play that song live? And I've seen people on Reddit say like, no, they never played it live because it was too tough a subject matter to talk about. So
Yeah. Actually, I have another project. It's like a black and thrash, and we actually covered "Kill All the White People" for a Halloween special we recorded, and that song was a lot of fun.
what about you would have done World War III and IV from when he was in Carnivore?
One more time.
How about you would have did World War III and IV from Carnivore?
Oh shit! Hell yeah!
That'd be nice. But,
Yeah.
All right, I'll leave it up to you, but good choice nonetheless. Okay.
Hell yeah!
And just start from Colby, and then we'll work our way up to Joe. I guess, what challenges do you guys face these days as musicians? Because I know you mentioned about some of the hardships. I know, Colby, you mentioned a divorce. So I guess
The hardest thing is the goddamn social media footprint. My God. I've been doing this for 25 years, so I remember booking shows pre-internet. You know, granted I was like 15 at the time, but I remember it like clear as day. And you know, it wasn't like everybody's attention span is so damn short now. Like I feel like musically, like the whole industry is just such a different beast than what it used to be. And I honestly can't stand social media. Like, I do it. I interact with it. I know I have to, but God, like getting on my phone every day to try to be interesting or funny or whatever the fuck, like just drives me crazy. Um, like I mean, you know, because that you gotta catch the momentum somehow. So like for me, it's definitely the social media stuff. Probably for all of us, because we all get on it, but we all aren't on it like all
Like
the
we
time.
should be.
Yeah, like we should be. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I didn't have a job, sure, I'd dedicate an hour and a half, 2 hours a day to this shit. But it's like I get off of work, I don't really want to sit there on my phone doing damn tags on 15 different things. You know, like, and I know there's ways to map it all and shit like that, but like we don't have a TikTok, and I know, God damn it, I'm gonna have to make one. That and that could be, you could look at that as old man griping, but no, I remember what it was like when people would just go on a Friday or Saturday night to whatever's happening. They didn't need to know the band that was on the bill, and that was how you found your favorite local influences. Because I mean, that's what I did when I was a kid. There was a venue called the White Rabbit, and every Friday and Saturday night, all the high school kids who were listening to rock and metal would show up and go there, and we would hang out with all these adults who are way older than us, but they would play these badass bands and songs and just all these different genres, and it was like popping every weekend. Like, and I didn't have to see a flyer. I just knew if you go to this venue, you're gonna fucking see some bands. So that type of mentality is really left, and it sucks because you never know what you're gonna find. I mean, I stumbled across so many bands going to festivals early to check the openers, and those are some of the bands that are now headliners on all the tours that we go and watch. So I've been fortunate enough to like see big bands. Like I saw Lamb of God in a small ass venue with Killswitch Engage. They couldn't have been more than 300 people there, you know, max. And now these guys are selling out arenas. So it's just, I feel like the drive for people to get off their ass and go out and about without having somebody push them has disappeared, and that sucks. Because I mean, back then, you know, it's $5, you know, $5, and if you had a flyer of any kind, they knock $2 off, so $3, you can get into a venue. Being an underage kid at that time, that was like, I don't know, hanging out with the scene. It was just, I don't know, so a whole different beast. That's the two things that drive me crazy about being in a band now is, you know, unless you're so many likes on so many something, or they keep seeing you on their feed or their reels, they won't come out and bother to even look or see and stuff like that. So that sucks.
Hardest thing for you? For me, the hardest thing is just trying to keep up, making it to practice, you know, and rehearsing, you know, just working, you know, a lot during the weeks, all the traveling, and then, you know, get home Friday, 5, 6 o'clock, oh, shower, gotta hit the road just to go make it to the jam. And then just getting which is actually like as much as I should be able to at home, you know, and stuff like that. That's my biggest challenge. But then that's really all I can think of, man, because we all want to be out here, we all want to be doing this, but like you said, social media, that's the second biggest thing for me, man. Just trying to keep up with that. It's like I wish I could just make more time to, you know, put, you know, drum videos out there, put some playthroughs, some snippets, something, man.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the same thing for me. It's just like the obstacles that, you know, you face every day, and then to find time to do something that most people would call recreational, you know. It's like, oh, hey, well, you do that as like a hobby, or you do that for fun, and it's kind of like, well, you know, I invest too much time and money for it to be just like a hobby, but it's also kind of like my therapy, so I kind of have to do it. So, you know, that's all the other stuff that happens in life, you know, and you're always getting thrown, curveballs. Sorry, traffic a little bumpy, and just be able to maintain, um, you know, find time to write music, find time to practice music that you already wrote, find time to get together, uh, you know, and so I think that would be, if you're asking like in a broad, you know, it just really still bothers me how, you know, you take all this time and effort, pay for recordings, you know, to get your music out there, and essentially give it away for free, you know, which, I mean, I kind of do get it, but man, it would be a lot nicer if we got a little bit more back from it, you know. Yeah. So the thing is that, I mean, a lot of our fans have been really good to us, and they'll just donate. Um, but yeah, it would be nice to get something back for, you know, the number of plays that you get, or whatever. So just trying to answer your question, well, it's just like more difficult for me personally, and also what I find just difficult about music, you know, in general right now. So that's my 2 cents.
Hey, Joe.
Not bad, man.
What's going on, brother? Same with Kobe. It's the social media thing, man. Just having to find the time to post, and then, you know, you don't post in a very long time, and the one time you do, the algorithm is just like, sorry, no one's seeing your shit today, you know. And so it's just social media, man. Also, like everyday life. You know, us being freaking having to work Monday to Fridays, 40-hour job. You know, freaking, it's tough. You know, we all got families. I got 3 little ones. You know, so I'm, you know, dealing with the kids. You know, and work, and yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Just trying to let it.
I'd say the hardest thing is juggling the obstacles of life and the life of being a musician. Like everybody says, family's first, always priority number one.
Speak up, David.
This right here would be another number one in my life to create an equal balance between the both. For 5 people to do is very, very hard. But we are able to create it and do it. Not as much as we truly, truly want to, but enough for us to stay bonded and keep creating what we're doing. So that probably as a father, a grandfather, musician, that's the hardest thing for me is just juggling that to make everything work the way we do. I tip my hat off to these guys. I mean, this guy just went into a new home. Colin, he does fire systems during the day. We're not going to talk about what Daniel does. It's the big unknown. And Kobe works from home. He gets to work from home, but he travels as well. So we got to juggle all that. Joe's an electrician, so trying to juggle that, get home. You get ready to walk right out there because the guys are there by the time I get home. I don't have banker's hours. I get up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and come home at 5, 6, 7 o'clock. We rehearse at 7, 8. So yeah, walk in, get right back out. So yeah, man, just like with you, you want to do this, you'd love to do it forever. I would love to do this full time. But to get to that point, man, that's the hardest part. We're thankful for people like you that are helping us get our name out there. So appreciate it, bro. Again, thank you.
No worries. And, it's good stories right here too, and you can definitely see some of the challenges everyone faces as well here too, and especially working multiple jobs. I know it's basically like a third job in this case because I work a part-time job. I got one tonight, which is going to be interesting because it's a football homecoming, and then we got karaoke night. Yeah, so it's going to be pretty hellish tonight. So yeah.
Busy.
Hey, you got a lot. And you better take a backpack with some clothes in it, brother, so you can go from place.
That's certainly what I do. I carry a duffel bag whenever I go to my part-time job from my main job. So yeah.
Yeah, Kobe does the same thing, but we call his man bag too. Basically like the birds.
It's European. Okay.
Awesome. And I just got dark. I love y'all. In case not, I'm playing.
No, wait. Hold on. We're not at that point yet. We're getting there though. We're not there yet. So actually, we're down to the fun questions right now. So I guess whoever wants to go first here.
I'll go first since I can get out of the way. What's it up, bro? Tell me. Tell me.
All right. Let's do this. What would you say is currently your favorite food?
Favorite food?
Yep.
Ooh, cock beat sandwiches.
We're on. Don't be saying stuff out live like that, dude. Favorite.
Hey, watch your language, buddy. It's a family-friendly podcast for fuck's sakes.
I would have to say, man, dude, that's hard.
Oh my God.
Actually, I'll tell you like this. We went to a place. Yesterday. It was called, what was it? York?
Ale.
The fucking York and Ale.
York and Ale. And what was the name of the town?
It was right.
I don't know.
Anyway, look it up. York and Ale. And we just said, hey, okay, here's a burger place. Let's go in there and let's go eat. I would drive from New Braunfels area over here just to come eat this burger. It was that damn good. This burger was probably about that thick, cooked perfectly, medium well. You can make the burger the way you want to do. That's my I like stuff that's new and I've never. You tried it already. Mexican food, Asian food, Cajun food. Man, I'm eating seafood. I love seafood, but stuff like that, unique, authentic, made right for you. Give me that, and I'm good all day long. So, next time we're around you or we go around you, that's what we're looking for. Something different, something unique. That's my favorite.
That's your favorite food?
It's my favorite food.
That is a tasty burger. So yeah.
Perfect.
For me, it's Tacos. Yeah, tacos, rice, beans, some guacamole, heck yeah, salsa. That's what I like. Some ranchero beans or something.
Oh shit!
Some good stuff and a beer. So
We're getting close to the beer.
You give me a good taco.
My favorite food right now is like skirt steak and chimichurri. Just me and my lady, we make it at home. We just make it all ourselves, and it's one of our favorite things to eat. We'll say we'll make tacos, and then we just dip the skirt steak in the chimichurri, and that's basically all we'll eat.
Instead of a microwave dinner, it's chimichurri. So,
Oh yeah, chimichurri is the good stuff.
Yeah.
My favorite food, probably breakfast food. Eggs, bacon, tacos, pancakes, waffles, you name it. I'll take it all at once, dude. Like, damn right. Like a Denny's Grand Slam, how it has a little bit of it all. But no, I can eat breakfast all day. It could be dinner, it could be morning, noon, or night. I can do it all. No. And that's just my.
That's why you difference.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, good question because I'm happy to answer this one. So right now, I like to do a lot of cooking at home, and probably the thing that I do the most that's not like work related or so I try to do this for my kind of surprise them with. But right now, and actually Colin is culinary training, so I know he does some cooking at home too. So, but yeah, right now I think my favorite thing is like pozole, like hominy is like thing you gotta touch, like soup you gotta touch oven for like hours. Are you able to hear me?
Got a little staticky right there, but I guess
All right. No, yeah, so it's got some pork shoulder in it. So right now, that's what I've been done with. So it's like menu, right. It's like menu, but without the stomach. But anyway, yeah, thanks for asking.
right. And
Yes.
next to fun questions. What would you say are your favorite movies? And if you want to do top 3, go ahead.
Star Wars.
The 3 of us. David says Star Wars.
I'm gonna I'll make it quick. Super Troopers. So I said quick, and here I am. Step Brothers and Half Baked.
Star Wars. Anything Star Wars. Caveman. I like Caveman. And Purple Rain. Top 3 movies.
Like I don't know, Shining, Fight Club. Fight Club's good. Yeah, and maybe I won't last week, but one show that I really like hooked on and watched over and over again is Futurama. So I'm gonna look at it. It's good stuff. Loves burgers.
But no, I said Michael Keaton, Batman, the other guys, and Talladega Nights.
So South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut, Pulp Fiction.
It's off again.
No, that's him muting himself.
Okay.
And anything from the Alien franchise.
All right, good choices. And looks like we lost David there, but I guess moving on to the next one right here. I guess what would you say is your favorite alcoholic drinks and non-alcoholic drinks?
For me, I guess alcoholic would be like a whiskey, bourbon. From going cheap, just like Jameson, and then for non-alcoholic would be it's like a Dr. Pepper, Coke, soda.
Alcohol. Shit. I love Jameson and beer. And when I say beer, pretty much I'll drink any kind of beer. And non-alcoholic, I'm a sucker for like half and half sweet tea and lemonade.
Alcohol. I do not drink alcohol. I'll just I've got usually at a show I've got a little bit of whiskey, doesn't matter what kind, in one hand and bottle of water in the other. That's about it.
I'd say
Joe?
you have to drink beer. I mean, it's kind of a prerequisite when you think about it. So
Yeah,
Yep.
right. Yeah, no. Yeah.
For me, it's a Mexican beer and tequila. It can be any Mexican beer. I mean, it can be any beer really. And if I'm taking shots or drinking liquor, it has to be tequila, reposado preferably. And non-alcoholic, probably Arnold Palmer, uh, iced tea and lemonade. It's good stuff.
you're indeed a trooper.
Alcoholic is not a big drinker, but if I'm in a beer of choice, it's going to be um, goddamn man from Mexico.
Modelo.
No, it's I can't Indio beer is one of my favorite beers that I'll drink beer of choice, and then non-alcoholic. Uh, Orange juice, man. I like drinking orange juice. Just give me a glass of orange juice and I'm good.
Just the last of the fun questions right here. I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, we got David here. I guess. What would you say is currently your favorite song in the mainstream world, and then one from the indie community, if you know any indie bands?
Favorite song out there right now? Uh, I've really
I'll tell you mine.
been intrigued into. My daughter she's a huge fan of music. Since she was 1 year old, she was running around in front of this band when it was the before set lineup for the original. So she's got me into a lot of different influences of music, as I have done with her. And one of her favorite artists is Billie Eilish, and she's got this song called Wildflower that she plays like all the time. And I would think that would be uh, like the one artist right now that has really inspired me musically, because how she's able with her brother Phineas to construct their music is kind of similar how we do ours. They do it at small little editing portions to where it could be 5 seconds of something like we hum into our phone, a riff idea. It's kind of the same thing, and it kind of just got me at home, got me to be like, okay, and that's probably one of my newest. And then what was the other part of it?
Favorite, I guess local or non like mainstream.
Non-mainstream right now. There's many bands in the scene that are around us, but as I spoke of earlier, the guys in Chironics have one of the most unique sounds, chemistry-wise. That the first time we saw them was strictly instrumental, and they blew us away. And I said, man, y'all don't need a vocalist. So now they got Donnie in the band. He told me what was my biggest expectation for the night of hearing them. And I said, it's how you blend with them, because they don't need a vocalist. But I've heard what you've done with them and I like it. So it's live for me. Blew me away. Those guys, they mesh together perfectly. Perfectly. Like I said, this band doesn't need uh, a vocal presence up there, but that's the most influential local band right now that people need to watch out for, hands down.
For me, it'll be anything Pantera, but probably Slaughtered. And then for non-mainstream, it'll be like David said, the boys from Kionics. They're really good musicians. I don't really know all of their song names right now, but they put on a great show. Verse. I would like to say they're very like atmospheric, so I'd check them out for sure.
I don't mind. Oh, here you go. I gotta look mine up real quick.
Favorite local band music or non-national, non-mainstream? Probably the new black metal project out of San Antonio, Fluxus Mortis. Those are a bunch of homies of mine that are in that band, and they released a single, and they're getting ready to release a cover that they're doing a Bathory, and it's pretty badass. So that would be my non-signed band. I would say check them out, go like their shit. They're really cool. Mainstream or like more national. Right now, I've been loving the new Shadow of Intent single flying the black flag. That one's been on my rotation pretty heavy. Love that one.
My favorite local band from our area would have to be Athanatos. Those are our homies, and those guys, they're tech debt, dude. Like they're so fucking good, man. They're just super extreme, dude. And then they always got to go fast. That's it's one thing they always say that, like they're gonna go fast, and they're fast as fuck, man. But they're super great guys. And then favorite national band, that's a tough one. But favorite song on rotation. Oh shit. Okay, well that's gonna be it's gonna be R&B song. It's called "It's Over Now" by Deborah Cox, and dude, that song just fucking it's fucking great. I love that song, man. I listen to that one a lot.
How about you say you're going to be a Swiftie at first?
Oh no, thank you.
Yeah, hey, that Plexus Mortis that Kobe's talking about is really good. What is the song called? Blasphemy, Sex Magic. Yeah, Blasphemy, Sex is a really good song. But probably non-mainstream song I've been listening to a lot lately is actually by Scars of the Flesh, which Kobe and Colin are also in. That's the song's called Memory Unknown. So I've been listening to that, and mainstream song, Boy in the Bubble. I don't even know who it's by. Alec Benjamin or something like that. Yeah, I really like the lyrics in that, and the way that he delivers those. I find it really interesting. So those are my two.
All right, great choices. So, okay. So everyone, we're down to one more question on my podcast right here. But I guess before we jump into it, did any of you guys have any questions for me or any final words you want to say before we jump into it?
Yeah, man, definitely tag us on your stuff, and we definitely want to share your platform, even when it's even if it's not involving us. Like we'd love to share your stuff. We love networking. Other than that, I guess my only question that I would really have for you is I don't know if this. I know we're on the road, we're on tour right now. If this interview didn't work out good enough, we can definitely set up something where we're at a home base and no signals flying around and stuff. So, but I guess my main question for you is, how did you find out about us?
I actually found out about you guys through Facebook, and was at Friends in Low Places, and I guess whoever did the logo for you guys, give that guy a raise, because I tend to like logos like that.
Hell yeah!
So.
What intrigued you about us?
Just the logo.
Just the logo. That was enough.
I mean, I'm a metalhead too, so I mean, obviously I told you about Megadeth, Mudvayne, and All That Remains, so I get to that stuff, and I figured, it's 50-50. So I figured it's best to know about a younger metal group out there too. So.
Hell yeah,
no, for sure. And then I was going to ask you, what I guess what are your favorite other genres besides metal, like, or what's something like you really get into?
Well, I've been on a little bit of a thrash itch, as I like to call it here too. So I think I'm appealing to Dan over there. So, but recently I get into a little bit of rock, and there was a friend of mine that kind of introduced me back into doing DJ, the whole thing with the turntables and that sort of stuff. So.
Okay, hell yeah.
So mainly that.
Yeah, I got a buddy that does that too. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was gonna say it's just kind of that, because I really don't expand too far. It's mostly been metal music, to be honest. So.
Oh hell yeah.
Right. Anybody else?
Yeah, I got a question. So my brother tried to do like podcast stuff. So I have a little bit of so I know a little bit about what it takes to do that. Just really curious about like what got you into podcasting and what got you into like doing the subject that the subjects that you do cover.
Well, let's see. I think it was a couple like I think I saw the name mentioned a few times because like some of those big channels, for instance, you know. So
Yes.
there was like that, and then I know Joe Rogan was also like another influence as well.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
I was kind of juggling around the topics and I guess niches to kind of like do for a podcast, and I realized,
Right.
I really like music, and I've also been starting my YouTube channel doing drum covers. I
Right.
thought about, I figured just put two and two together, and then that's what we got here. And then it eventually expanded into the Facebook group Band Together, who has like all these indie artists. So I started to recommend you guys join if you haven't already.
Okay.
We'll have to check it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I know. So combining those two things, do you find it like really rewarding when you've gone through everything and you post your content? Is like what goes along with that? I guess I'm trying to relate a little bit. Like, I mean, I know sometimes when we're done playing, I just feel like, yeah, that was difficult, but it's kind of what I'm here to do.
Each interview has been a blessing. So because
Oh,
I was kind of a bad introvert, and unfortunately, I realized that the hard way doing a stint in sales, door to door. And one was B2B, so that was only lasted about a week. But I figured, it's at least a good idea to get out and like reach out to people and then talk about something we share in common, which is music.
right. Yeah, no, I think it's important. Like what you're doing. I think it's important, especially like bands like us that are trying to make it. So we very much appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Here you go.
Where do I go, Dan?
Oh shit, my bad. Sorry. Here you go, Joe.
Not so much a question, man, but just I wanted to say thank you for your time and just chatting with us. We could talk to each other like all day, every day. You like jumping on here, giving us your time means a lot to us. So just want to say thank you very much, and just keep on keeping on, brother.
My question would be, since you talking to Kobe, arranging this, your expectations of what you were going to be hearing from us to now, knowing that you learned about us through a logo over a media page, after speaking with us individually as a group, what would make you now or intrigue you the most to want to go and learn more of us now that you've spoken with us?
Ooh, that's definitely a question. So, well, definitely get a show close to home for one thing, because you can't really travel all the way out to New Mexico, Oklahoma, or Texas. I used up all my vacation already, so unfortunately, I'm kind of limited there.
For sure.
But do you guys post any live footage, I guess, on any social media that you guys are on?
What was that?
Do you guys post any live footage?
We do. We have some out there that we've been lucky to get from different podcasts. Also, people that just come to the crowd and catch little snippets or a whole song because they were waiting for us to play it. So,
But
if you go to our page, you can see that.
yeah, if you look us up, if you type in Cerebral on YouTube, there's a couple full-length live tracks on there, and then we also have a music video for "Ghost of Me."
And a lyric video for Chef's Skin.
Was there anything else? Any other questions or anything you guys want to say before we jump to the last question?
No, I think we're good, man. We're ready to move on when you are.
All right. So while we got the connection still good, here, let's do it. So,
Right, for sure.
So, given what COVID has done, obviously, I know some of you guys have lost some family and friends along the way, but some of you guys have been pretty blessed. You formed this group right here. You're touring, in a manner of speaking, just going to the free states, not like the whole damn nation tour or anything like that, but
One day.
one day. But for those musicians and people who've been impacted by COVID or anything else in their lives, what sort of message of hope do you give to musicians and people out there as we try to move forward in the post-COVID world? And Colby, you can start.
Just don't give up. Persevere through it all. And if you are having fun with what you're doing, life is short, very short. You never know when your time comes, and so live it. I've had so many. I hate to say it, but I've had so many like tragedies that I've had to go through in my life, like losing my mom at a young age, or the divorce I spoke of earlier, different things like that, and I take pride in what I do and what I project and what I contribute to the music realm around us. So if it's as good as it feels like it does for me, it's like a drug, it's a high, it's comparable to damn near sex, like playing live and making music. Like, I don't know, like I get goosebumps when I'm getting ready to release something. If you get that feeling from what you're doing, put it out there. Put it out there. Don't hesitate. And just find the right group of guys to make it work, to where y'all's vision can enfold everyone in the band. I get there's some bands out there where it's like there's one creative mind or two creative minds, and the other guys just kind of follow suit. Whatever's your cup of tea. But I recommend that if this stuff makes you feel alive like nothing else does, then pursue it with all your might.
And I guess for me, with post-COVID and everything, it's just I guess it's just trying to get the scene back to what it was, getting people to want to come out, man. Because just from what interactions you get off social media, and then what you get in real life, it's always like hit or miss. Sometimes, the turnout's great, but social media is like not so great, and then sometimes it's vice versa. So, and I guess it's also just some people are still kind of, I guess, high strung with COVID in a way still, like, because they say it's coming back and stuff like that, and people are getting sick again. But it's like you also just gotta, if that's something you fear, and you still want to do these things, then protect yourself. If that makes you feel better, more comfortable, then you're more than welcome to do that, and accept it if you want to be safer about it than others. But people should still come together, and no one should be discriminated. Safer things to keep yourselves healthy.
Well, that's difficult. I feel like I know I made the really sour joke about Steve, but Steve's playing music. He finally did get back, and he's got another project going, and I'm happy for him. But the thing is, like, we're still dealing with it. It hasn't gone away. It's not going away, and I don't want to stand on a soapbox, and I definitely don't want to get political. But I guess if I had any sort of like thing to say where somebody cared about my opinion, the message I would want to share is empathy. Empathy for perspectives on how people not only deal with it physically, but also how they want to manage it in terms of ideas that help prevent it from being spread. I feel like Cerebral is really about brotherhood. It's about making connections with the fans. It's about having sharing that mental connection, you know. And so I feel like in the spirit of that, empathy is important when coming to, deal with it. Um, it's stuff, putting in all that work to release that record and then just not being able to support it. I mean, it's all of us. Like my son is dedicated to cross country, and he worked, been working for since he was a kid to hopefully win a state championship. And finally, his senior year, he got sick with COVID right before, and so he did not perform the way that he wanted to. Um, so I feel like everybody's taking hits, and the message I guess I would like to share is like, hey, before you know, before rash decisions, I feel like empathy should be considered. And yeah, that we do. But I think throughout, all the bad stuff that's happened, throughout all the losses,
I would definitely say, I would say to an aspiring musician, I would say keep up with it. If it's something you want to do it. Sky's the limit. Like these guys, they're a family to me. And I think that's the hardest part is clicking with a group of guys. Because in all honesty, it's another relationship. You're creating another relationship with some people, and you got to have a good relationship with your musician friends. You got to have a good relationship with them, and it's good to have a band of brothers. So that would be my what I would say to a musician who keeps wanting to do it, who keeps wanting to do it, and having a hard time in that aspect. So find you some homies, some good guys. Sky's the limit.
Post-COVID would be stay true to what you were doing during the time of COVID. As before, it affected all of us. But if you went and use that time wisely to perfect your craft, come out this time even more with that harder theory. And if you're a solo musician, an artist, or a group of people, make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that are positive about the way that it's going to be from here moving forward. As a musician, and stay true to your heart and just keep going. Don't ever give up. Live life with no regrets, and have fun, man. Have fun.
You're gonna love this.
Just real quick, I kind of missed some of the stuff that Dan and Colin were saying. So just real quick, can you just sum it up in 2 sentences?
No, for sure. No, I was just saying, if people should still want to be safe if they want to be safe, and everyone in the community should just be, accepting if people want to, wear masks or not. And then for bands, it's just like you gotta put in the time, you gotta put in the effort, and like Joe said, when you find the right group of guys, you'll know. And then you just stay true, and y'all both, put in the effort and just, reciprocate everybody's energy. I think you'll be able to make something good and worth continuing with.
like COVID's not over. It's not ever going to be over. And there's a good chance that more stuff's going to happen. That's similar to, I mean, that's what an endemic is. But
You're blocking
am I?
You're blocking the camera.
You got to tell me, like, signal to me, like, yeah, no. No, it was just like the message of empathy, just going forward. Just going forward. Man, we're just talking about this, just like practice. Yeah, I mean, that's about it. That's all I got. My first time saying this was a lot better.
Was going good there, then all of a sudden it started cutting you guys out a little bit, but it's all good. We got it. So that's all it is. And spoke like a bunch of true prodigies. So,
Thank you.
and just to answer Colby's question, I think maybe at some point, if you guys want to do a part 2 down the line, we can definitely revisit at some point. So
That's what I was telling him, man. Like, we'd totally be down for that. You know, we'll actually get like see if we can get more than one mic, just at least something where you can get a better quality of our voices. I'm not sure how it's coming on your end, you know.
I can at least hear you guys, so it's all good. So we'll see what happens. But
All right, for sure.
like I said, you guys have any new content coming out pretty soon? Maybe it'd be better to do it like afterwards and then see where it goes.
Yeah, so we're coming up, finishing the last two tracks for not further, for the Empty Black, and then once we get all that mastered, we'll be trying to put that album out as soon as possible.
Yeah, we got to get a lot of stuff together. We got a lot of merch. The art for this album is going to be stellar. We went above and beyond, and we got the guy who does his name's Nico. He does the artwork for Dark Tranquility's albums. So yeah, so we got that. We got all our artwork. Everything's there. We just got to plan it. Make sure we release it at the right time that we can then hit the road for it and stuff like that. So we'll definitely have some release parties, things like that. But yeah, that's the main goals. Once we get through these rest of these shows this year, really getting ready to promote the shit out of that in 2025 and ourselves. So.
And just real quick, can you just say what social media and streaming platforms you guys are on so they can check out your music?
Yeah, we're on everything streaming. So Apple, Spotify,
Amazon Music,
YouTube, yeah, you name it. Bandcamp, we're on all that stuff. We have you can go to cerebraldesecration.com. We have our store on there. You can look at merch. You can look at show dates. You can see pictures, read our bio. We got all kinds of stuff on there. I try to update it every now and then and stuff like that. But people can inquire about shows on that website too. You can email me directly, and we can see what we can work out and stuff like that. And there's music on there too. Other than that, the social medias that we're on is Facebook, Instagram. We have a Twitter. I know the TikTok is the big thing. We haven't really made one of those yet. But,
No, I was doing X. I know I said Twitter, but it's now pronounced X these days.
oh yeah. See, I don't mess with that account. That's Dave's department. But so I don't fuck with X at all. But yeah, we do have our account on there, and we have a member who works on it. But yeah, I mean that would probably be the best ways to reach us. Instagram and Facebook are our most active, but we're definitely gonna try and broaden our horizons and get into like TikTok and all that other stuff. So.
All right, sounds good. And to close out like this, everyone, my guests today were the boys from Cerebral Desecration. We had Colby, Colin, Dan, Joe.
Thank you.
Yeah, Joe.
And David. There we go. I was at Mike. Sorry. All right.
You're good, man.
These guys are going out there kicking some ass right now. They're on the road right now. So we'll see what happens. But who was talking there?
It was great talking to you, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure is all ours. And
Okay.
anybody who's listening in on this, follow us and get online with us and jam our shit. You know you want to.
All right. And I didn't mean, I thought someone was talking over. I didn't mean to interrupt anybody, but okay, we're all good. So go support the music. Go hit them up on the social and everything here too. So you guys stay safe out there because this is a crazy world, and good luck on your tour. Rock on. Stay tuned, y'all.
Thank you so much, bro.